In die 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the Runs Pod. Welcome back to the Runs Pod from my house in Swansea, and Nicky is still away. Where are you, Nick?
I am now. Well, last week I was in Glasgow. Now today I am in Aberdeen, and I have been for a week. So I'm in a hotel
Aberdeen.
still in Aberdeen.
For a week. Lovely. It looks like you're on a ship in M Diggs, doesn't it? It's quite.
Well, they've got a bit of a roof behind. You can't really see outside. There are a lot of pigeons, seagulls, like to frequent in the night. So yeah, that's nice.
Very good. Aberdeen. Lovely. Yeah, that leads us on to what we've done on the weekend, I guess, because you've been stuck up in Aberdeen. Did you work all weekend or just flat out?
I've worked all weekend, but I managed to sneak off and get a park run in up there. So that was good to do a different park run. So
Aberdeen park
run, yeah. It was a bit like you just said tonight. It was a bit like it's on the front of the prom. It's literally the other side of where the dockyard is. I'm working. Like the halfway point there, so I obviously looked at that and I had a little scout. It was like, boys, I'm going to disappear for an hour. So yeah, jogged up the start, real windy because it's right on the seafront and it's literally an out and back facing north. So wind was behind on the way out. You turn around, go onto a lower prom and run all the way back. So it's a bit like down, what's it called?
It's called on Swansea.
Not Porthcawl, but more like Aberarden. It's like a big long prom beach front with a top and bottom level. So you run out top, you spin around and come all the way back up the bottom. But yeah, it was good. It's like quite a big one, 300 odd people there. Yeah.
300 odd. How many of them did you beat?
Well, I come second. So most of them, but not all of them.
Who beat you?
I don't know. I went out hard because I knew the wind was behind going down. Well, not down, it's flat. But so I went out hard. Probably a bit too hard. It was like a 5:20 first mile, but the wind was behind. Got to the turn point, which was obviously 2.5k. It was this guy, another woman, and another guy just got onto the back of me because the wind started with the wind. They stayed behind me for about a k. And if I beat this guy from about 3.5 to 4k, he just put a little gap on me, beat me about 5-6 seconds. Just couldn't stay with him.
Well, all right.
I still ran all right. Yeah, still sub 18, so I was happy with that. Good hard effort.
Got much more running in?
Yeah.
What's it like? How do you get it done?
Yeah, I just after work, and I just as soon as I finish work, go and get it done, and I just got to keep training. Training now. 12 weeks to go to my marathon, so just get up and get on with it. Innit? I've done a couple early in the morning before work, but mostly after work I've been going. But the weather up here has been buzzing. I know it looked better where you were Sunday down Swansea. Obviously, I've seen some of the videos and pictures. That looked much better weather. It is, well, I wouldn't say it hasn't stopped raining, but it's rained every day. And it's been fucking like 10, 12 degrees.
We had the conditions for Ironman down Swansea on Sunday were... I'm not an Ironman, I'm not a triathlete, but I couldn't think of any better conditions than that for him. Fair play.
It looked really nice pictures and videos I've seen.
I've spoke to a couple of the boys who done it, and it was just, I went down at like 6:30. I think I went down in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and stayed in t-shirt and shorts for the rest of the day, and didn't feel a cold once at all. So, bang, one event, like, I just love him.
Yeah, it looked good from obviously all the stuff he was chucking up. I was obviously keeping a track in as I could in work, and yeah, it looked a good day. I was gutted to miss it, but make sure I'm not missing Ironman Wales.
No, definitely not. My brother's tagging along for that as well. He's seen all the photos. He's like, I think I'm going to have to come to one of these events because they just look, and they are, even from like the spectator side of it, it's ridiculous. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Just get involved, and you get the hype as well.
Yeah. I done 18,000 steps with a camera. Like.
Good shift. How many photos?
Yeah.
More photos?
No, not that many photos. I was getting better throughout the day. I had some really good ones of Aled, just like zoomed in on him. I've got to figure out how to work like the zoom and all that, because I had some good photos. For every good one, there was 3 really blurry ones going in a bit. But it's hard when it's a moving subject as well, I imagine. So I don't think I'm that far off. That was what I found the hardest, because so many people were doing it, and like Leachy'd still be out on a bike, and then all the way in Kyle and Aled are flying, obviously, and then you've got the boys in the middle of the pack. It's trying to find them all to get photos for all of them, like.
Yeah.
because and the map is what wasn't the easiest to read, and trying to like track the map, work a camera, move
Yeah.
around.
Like
So I would benefit with
you've
your
frozen again.
logistical
But
expertise as well,
the tracking's a
telling me
nightmare
where
with
to
it
go
as
all
well,
the
isn't
time.
it? Because the map is not always up to date. Like I was checking every half hour or so, and like there was no update. So it's not the best, is it? They need to work on our app.
Yeah, exactly. But I settled in the end then. It was on the run, it was 2 loops.
Yeah,
But the second loop was only half a loop. So
right.
it settled around about the top of the second loop there then, really. And
Yeah,
then, yeah, because then you'd catch them on the second lap, or you'd catch them going up on the first lap, and it's easy to move around a little bit as well.
yeah,
But all day, some banging shifts, obviously, business as usual for Kyle, for Steve, for Aled. But so Scott, you get a lot of grief on you, but fair play, taking a race bib, race number, 24 hours notice, 48 hours notice, whatever it was, and knocking out a shift like that. Fair play, very well done, Scott.
yeah. Well,
No
you
need to see.
haven't done any try for a while, have you? So he's just been running, and
Yeah,
yeah,
he hasn't seen for ages. I know he
no,
rides a bike before work sometimes, but well done.
yeah,
And that's the end of the well done. We're back to bullying you now. But no, that was good to see. You did take a hit in transition as well, albeit a couple of seconds to chuck a vest on for us. We always appreciate that as well. My Stake Triathlon and the E3 boys as well, the Wolfpack and the E3 boys. Some mad shifts. Special mention for Leachy as well, because we spoke about it last time, didn't we? After Mumbles, it would have been easy to throw in a towel at that point after the swim experience like that. But fair play. I think he finished about 20 minutes from. I spoke to him in a week, and he said he was looking at this time, and it was about 20 minutes shorter. Good execution, Leach. No panic, no rushing. Just rode your races 3 times and got it done. But looked comfortable all the way around too.
yeah. You got to be well happy with that. His first ever like 70.3, because he had a bit of a. Well, it wasn't his fault really. The mumble swim being so long, so cold.
Yeah.
That was his first proper effort at it as well. So fair play to bang that out then. Great effort.
Yeah. And Kelly had a nightmare as well, didn't she?
Yeah, I seen her on socials. Obviously, again, was tracking and didn't know what was going on because, like, I seen she put a bit more of an update today when it about it, saying obviously she was out to swim 30 seconds before, was it, or a minute before? So
30 seconds, I think it was, yeah. And another guy was still in transition, and he was allowed to ride.
yeah, that just don't. I don't know. It just don't make sense, does it? If you're out to the water and they allow you to go through transition,
It's only
surely
let him in for transition if it was cut out, isn't it?
exactly, surely you would have been stopped coming out to the water. But I don't get that. How you're allowed to? Because it's a bit of a trek, the transition, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite the trek. But
You've got to
it's
come
like
up
the
on the
highs and
water.
lows, isn't it?
You are.
I don't know if she got the transition or she got to the bags, was it? Because if she's got the transition, yeah, that's a hell of a trek.
Yeah, I think from a
I think
post
it's
saying,
500 meters, something like that.
yeah, got
I
the
remember,
transition and was changing, but they said you haven't made it, and the bike was being removed. But there was another guy there still changing, and he was allowed to go out. But like she said, the next cut off was like an hour for the bike, but it was 10 miles away, so you can do that easy, you know.
yeah.
So it's a bit
So
harsh.
yeah, she's but Kel, you are resilient, you are an animal, so carry on. I'm sure you'll be back with something sooner rather than later now as well. But you can imagine getting out there now, and that's where it's either you tell me you're done or let me go in it, because all that way
Yeah,
through transition, she's probably buzzing,
yeah.
counting her lucky strike, counting her lucky what's your lucky things? Lucky stars.
Does.
And then she gets through and to get on the bike, and they're like, hold up, wait a minute, you're not having that.
That's I mean,
So
I don't get it. I don't know enough about it, but surely there's a point. You're either out to the swim and you stopped, or you're out to the swim and you're allowed to carry on to the next cut-off time. I don't get that in between. Because some people take 5 minutes in transition. Some people take 10, 15 the next. They just like, right, I'm through. I would call this bit. I'm all right. I can slow down, change, whatever, innit?
you're feeding now, innit?
Yeah, surely if it was allowed out to the water in time, you should have been allowed to continue.
Yeah.
But there was other people also stopped, wasn't it? But that was out to the water. I think I seen someone say that other people didn't make it out to the water in time. I don't know.
I know I went around and there was only a couple left in the swim because I was looking to Kelly to get a photo of her as promised.
Yeah.
Lloyd Freeman took a bib off Josh Pennell like a day before, I think, and he's done less swimming than we done in prep for it.
Yeah.
And Lloyd was out really it as well. But there was a couple left in there. But I went around to get, and then like there was like a bag or two left for Kelly, and I thought, oh, I don't know what's going on. So I didn't stay in the end, and then I seen it on Instagram that she hadn't got through it round to it anyway. Like,
yeah.
But good event though, good day, banging down there, class atmosphere, and lovely to see the boys flying around and enjoying themselves as well. Most of them had a good day. Matty and Rodri Long had a nightmare. I think they swallowed too much pond water in the swim, and they had bad.
Yeah, I seen that. You said they both had gut issues, so that's the problem with that, isn't it? Long day,
Yeah.
like things go wrong and just a run, let alone doing all that, and the nutrition, and like say if they've swallowed water from air, not nice.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, good day. That was my weekend, and that was your weekend. This weekend, we've got stuff coming up as well. Before we get on to that, I do need to mention the Beast of Bryn is happening again on the 25th of August. The Beast of Bryn. Have you done that before, Nick? I haven't.
I've not done it as the official race. No, I know the route, and I've run. I don't think I've ever run the full big one, but I've never entered the race. I've always had something else on or been away. But I think it's changed again this year, isn't it? It's like different routes again and different distance again.
Two routes, 6.5 miles and 10.5 miles.
Yeah, because it used to be like a 6 or 10, around about a 10. Again, it used to be like a 15 or 16 miler. So they've obviously changed it again, try and get more people over there, I suppose. But when's it? The bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
25th of August.
Yeah.
So you can enter on the website, have a look, go and get through to it, and enter the 6.5 mile or the 10.5 mile.
Yeah, cracking routes up there through the forestry Avon side, and obviously over the other side, the shorter loop is up over the Bryn side.
Yeah. Good. I've got two things I need to speak about before we move on to what we're doing this weekend. I've come to the conclusion that it's a waste of time. And why do they draw flowers? Why do they draw leaves, and why do they draw flowers on top of coffee?
Yeah, it's just fancy art, isn't it? It's just.
Well, what's the point? It's gone like my first sip.
Well, either that or when you stir it, if you put sugar in.
Yeah.
It's
now,
for
George,
it's for the Insta mob, isn't it? To just put a picture up. I'm having a coffee, like.
Oh, no, shove it up your ass. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
Right, George, I don't want any trouble with Coffee Club or anything like that, but I don't want to see any leaves on top of coffee cups anymore.
Any art, leaves, fancy photos, nothing.
Stop wasting time. Just pour the coffee.
Yeah.
We've told the Carlos story over and over again, haven't we? We must have told the Carlos story on this podcast.
We've told the boys, and we mentioned it on the Wolfpack one, didn't we?
Let's just recap. So, which I am Scott's year, wasn't it? So what year was that?
Scott Gray year, 2018.
Well, this is the new one now, Scott 2024. For 2018, we supported a stranger all the way around because we seen him go in. We found him on a track, and his name was Carlos. He was Spanish, so we just shouted "Vamos, Carlos" every time we seen him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then found him on Strava, followed him on Strava, and exchanged a couple of messages here and there. Today, he followed us on Instagram. We need to get hold of Carlos. Carlos, if you're listening.
Frozen.
That's on your side. It's all right. I'll keep going.
All right.
Carlos, we need to get hold of you because we need to know if you can handle how your English is to see if we can do a full kind of pod.
Yeah. But because like I've stayed in touch with him ever since, and like I do have conversation now and again back and forth on Strava and things, and his English seems great. But then again, yeah, sitting here for an hour talking is a bit different, isn't it? I don't know Spanish.
No, we just sit there going, see. But what a love story! What a wonderful love story!
Yeah, it was a brilliant story because, like I say, I think he was just in front of Scott when he coming onto the run.
Yeah,
because he'd like, I think it was his father or whoever looked at the page. He was like hugging him and getting his gels, wasn't he? And we noticed his name, and me, you, and Ben Q were going nuts for me. Carlos, and he loved it, and he's given us like a big wave, and we sort of caught him every lap then, didn't we? Because he was just ahead of Scott. So I've sort of stayed in touch since then. And funnily enough, on Sunday before the game, the big football game where it didn't come home again. I messaged him to say all the best, Spain. And he obviously messaged me back.
So let's see what we can do with that. That'd be good.
It would be good.
This weekend we've got Mystic Parkrun's birthday.
7 years already. Mad.
7 years. God.
I know.
I don't think I've done much more than 2 a year. I need to rectify that.
If you live in Swansea, it's a bit hard.
But it's not too hard because Park Brimbach are bringing a bus up or a couple of cars up to celebrate the birthday with us up there as well. So I told Carly that we would give them some parking instructions and chop it up. So they're best off heading for B&M, right? Free parking in B&M.
Yeah, the B&M, the Argos, and it's like a free car park down there. It's a big free car park. It's quiet that time in the morning. So put that in your sat-navs. It's in the main town centre. Then you've got a short 2-minute walk up the hill to the actual park and the welfare park.
It's a walk up a little hill to Tesco's and then up 4 flights of stairs to get to the park. But I can be in the car park to meet you if you need me to show you the way. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's
great.
Yeah, fair play.
Spoons for coffee.
Everyone else turn up and get as many there as we can for their 7th year.
Yeah, there'll be cake, there'll be good times, and me and Nicky will be there too. Happy days. Nicky in the front, I'm in the back. It's great. And we've got the Blue Pool Loop as well, where we run Wales, which is sold out.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So if you've got a ticket for that, great. If you haven't got a ticket for that, unlucky suckers, missing out. Ben Keogh has been good enough to sort us out. Well, just warn the golf club that we're going to be there, I guess. Not that we're going to be ripping anything up, but for parking and some tea, coffee, maybe a beer if Peely's come in, and potentially bacon rolls as well, depending on the demand. So that should be nice and busy weekend as well. And you've got the rabbit or the beer mile sandwich in between.
Yeah, that's Saturday, and I forgot about them.
That's a lot of mileage for you this weekend.
Yeah, but I'm not entering them.
Oh, no?
No. And then
so what's your mileage this weekend now? You'll run the 5, you'll run up, you'll do a lot before the park run, is it?
I'll probably do a session before park run park run, coffee, and then Sunday the Blue Pool Loop is about an 11k loop, and it's with forestry, cracking little loop, obviously with the blankie, nice loop down and around that. So yeah.
Will that be your run for the day in, or will you do something else as well?
I'll probably run up and run down with that as well to make it a longer run.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Run up and run. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's so steep, like.
I'll come up over the park, probably.
Not so bad then.
That's the way it is. We'll get up the ollies, up through the park to past Slug's Mansion, up over the top, and then up to the golf club.
All right, fair enough.
2 miles climbing to start.
Oh, and I need to start my this weekend is my kickstart for Cardiff half training then as well. Be some solid mileage on the weekend now, and then kickstart from there.
It's 11 weeks from the weekend, yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a good starting point, 11 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see what we've got then, innit, and go from there. Manchester Marathon is the big one then. But right, today we've got a very interesting guest on. Emily Marchant told us to get him on, so we've got him on. It's Craig Jones from Swansea Harriers. Shall we see what he's got to say?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
he done Sunday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He ran past and he was like, no, I didn't freeze in, I just wasn't breathing. He ran past and he was like, yeah, the run's by. It's so weird. It's like, you're the athletes, we're just here, I'm just here to clap, like.
Just here to clap, wave, take pictures, cheer.
Right, ready? 3, 2, welcome back. There's 3 of us now. We have got Craig Jones with us. Hi, Craig, how's it going? You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Cheers, boys.
Thanks for coming on.
Right.
Nice.
we were just talking now before we come back on, fresh out of Ironman on the weekend and straight into a swim session last night as well. Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. You said before that you triathletes, we love it to me. So we're back to the grind. Don't want to sit around, keep moving, flush out the lactic, as they say. But
nice.
they're all my mates in the pool. It's fine.
Love it.
Days. Good. Yeah. So we normally just like go all the way back to how it all started. Primary school. Any sports in primary school? Comprehensive. What was your bag when you were a kid? I guess.
I think growing up, my parents put me in lifeguards and a life-saving club down in Langland. And pretty much from there is where I met like my best friends now. And we compete then at like a local level, Welsh level, national, British, and then to the Europeans then as I got older. But the competitions in life-saving, it's a lot of swimming, board paddling, ski paddling. And they do beach events like sprinting, beach flags, and a 2K, I think it is. So growing up, I just did those events for about 10 to 15 years. And it's a really nice social circle. There's lovely people there. And then I didn't really know I was half decent at running. And they threw me in these events. And all of a sudden I won the British title when I was 15 of the 100-meter beach sprint on sand. So it sounds a bit bizarre, but like people make tracks, like starting blocks and everything. It's like a proper job. And I won it. And then I started winning it every few years. And I won the Welsh and I competed at the Europeans. And it's quite a niche sport in the UK, but in Australia, it's massive. And I watch a lot of YouTube and I still follow it now, all the Ironman series out there. And it's swim, board, ski in different orders. But out there, it's a full-time job. They're like full-time athletes doing it. But so that's kind of where my original sporting started. And I also played football alongside that quite competitively. So I just grew up playing for a lot of town teams, I'd call it. So because I was a surfer and skater, all the boys in the football teams in like Camalby and St. Joseph's, they were called Preseli, or like Penland teams. They used to call me Tony Hawk growing up. So it was bizarre, just because they were like, do a kick flip, because they just found it alien, the fact that I surfed and skated but played football pretty well. So that was bizarre. But in football, I played down the wing, so I was always sprinting full pelt, basically like short efforts. And that's kind of like the background for like my running. No real triathlon really. It was just kind of a running base, but I was predominantly down the beach surfing and competing in surf lifesaving. Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed till now.
Oh, what? It's like it's a full-on niche sport, but once you dive into it, it's massive. Then the people who do it are like full-on and absolutely love it, and it's amazing fitness, and the friendship groups are class, and and like I say, Australia, it's massive. It's like almost one of their main sports, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I might have seen a bit of it, some Australian events. Might have been on like YouTube or some mad channel. I've seen something like that. That's really with those mad hats. Is it like the...
Oh, yeah. Beanies. So the club beanies, they wear them little bar mitzvah things, it looks like. But if you go on YouTube and type in Summer of Surf, you'll see all of it there. And the coverage is really good. My wife watched it with me. She's hooked on it now. But it sounds a bit sad and weird, but it is epic. Like the racing is top level, and there's some open water Olympian swimmers that are part of the team that swim. It's a super high standard, you know. But that was my background. So I've always grown up around the ocean and swimming, which helps from the triathlon side of things, you know. But that's how it kind of started. And then from football, I just started running a little bit on my own, just for general fitness. And you guys know Matt Rees as well, Swansea Harriers, right? So he joined our football team, and I was wearing a Garmin in football training one time, just to track running around. And it was one of the old school, like it was grey with a bit of orange, and it was like a really thick, massive thing. And he said, "What's that on your wrist?" Not that I'm claiming the fame, right, with his running. You may not even remember this, right, but I do. And I said, "Oh, it's a Garmin." I said, "It's tracking where I'm going." And the next thing you know, he bought the watch. We used to call him the engine, right, back in the day, because whatever like dangerous player was on the other team, we used to say, "Matt, can you mark him?" And Matt would run all day and just mark that player running around. And as soon as he got a Garmin, he kind of quit football and started with Swansea Harriers. And then and then he's just gone on to bigger and better things, Matt. But yeah, football is quite a good starting point for a lot of us, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, seems me. Well, that's mad. So you started Matt in his running world with a mad Garmin. Love it.
I don't know. He might say something different, and he's on to bigger, better things. He may not even remember me that much, Matt, but he kind of looks like me, right? This is another weird story, going off on a tangent here, right? But when he did the carry at London Marathon, right?
Yeah.
Obviously he's from Swansea, and people saw it, and then I don't know, a few years on, sometimes people would mistake Matt as me.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around Mumbles, and they went, "Oh, you're the carry guy, and you're the person that did the thing at London." And I used to say, "No." And it went on for so long. When people started asking me, I just went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Just walked off, because I was like, "This is getting beyond now." But yeah, that was so good. That was captured.
Dumb members opening the post office as Matt Rees with some golden scissors because you didn't say no.
Yeah, so but that was amazing what he did at London. And like I say, he's gone on to bigger and better things now. I still watch his YouTube videos and stuff like that now. It's really interesting. And his partner Kelly as well. Oh yeah, she's
we were just talking. Yeah, and we were just talking before you come on. She's had a nightmare on the weekend on Sunday, haven't she? Ever seen that?
Yeah, I did actually. I did reach out and message her earlier actually, because I think she's put a lot of, I don't know, she's quite open as she online, and she said she's getting a bit of flack. Of what's happened, but I don't really know. It was quite close to the swim cut off, and they just didn't let her continue. So yeah, it's a shame really, because she's been like vlogging all of her like training and progress, and she's not a triathlete. I know that, and it's great when you see people do different things and trying new things and experiences. So it's a shame something like that got taken away from her. But I messaged her and said, like, the next time you cross a line in triathlon, it'll be that much sweeter because of what happened,
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what we got from doing the episode with Kelly, and seeing her online. Obviously, she's very, very resilient, and she will bounce back.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so yeah, and she's already done one triathlon, I think. So she'll do another half, and then maybe move on to the full distance. But it's great, like women in sport is growing as well, and it's great to see,
Yeah, absolutely. So we could do a full episode by the sounds of it on nicknames of your friends when you're growing up as well, but we won't go to that.
Oh, yeah. No. So, well, if you want to go down the nicknames route, a lot of people call me Jocko as well. So that's kind of like and a lot of people don't know why they call me Jocko. My mum hates that nickname as well. But
why you call
yeah, it was basically from I played for Mumbles Rangers for a number of years, and that was it. Yeah, because I surfed and skate quite a lot. My surfer and skater friends didn't know I played football, and then one time they all came down Underhill Park, where I was playing for Mumbles Firsts, and like we have our own little changing room, and we have our own little physio that kind of gives us muscle rubs before the game. We had like special treatment being in the first team, and they all came down and watched all these kind of like big hair, long baggy clothes back in the day, and the Vans skate shoes with the rip laces, and they watched me, and I was pretty decent at football, and they were watching me, and they said, "What? Didn't know you could play football like that." And they were like, "Football's a jock sport." And then it started being like Craig the Jock, and then it went Jocko, and then it's just stuck really. So all my swim friends call me Jocko, and some of them don't even know my first name, which is funny. But yeah, it just stemmed from that. So, but I don't know if you guys know, actually, I broke my leg playing for Mumbles Rangers. So when I was 22, I was playing a rough team, and I just, from my blind side, someone scissor tackled me, and my tib and fib snapped clean in half. Jesus. So, yeah, I fell to the floor, my leg was facing the other way, and then I just shouted, and then the ambulance came, and long story short, then they cut my Adidas Predator boots, which I loved.
Boots
I just remember them. I know. I remember them straight in my leg in the hospital, loads of morphine in me, and then wrapping my leg in plaster of Paris. And then the next day, they operated on me. So in my knee, I've got like a metal titanium rod from my knee down to my ankle, which is pretty brutal. It's still in there now. And then 2 screws below my knee going across, and 2 above my ankle. So.
Well, that makes it even more impressive than the times you're running and the triathlons you're doing to come back.
I'm waiting. I don't want to say I'm waiting for arthritis to kick in, but yeah. And then like 8 months later, I was back playing football, which is a bit bizarre. And then I think I was playing football. I played football for another year for Mumbles, and then I started getting hacked quite a bit on the wing, skipping a few players and taken out. And I started joining the Harriers then, Swansea Harriers. And one of my old coaches was in the LC gym, and I used to train a lot. So it's quite top heavy, doing chest and arms a lot. And he used to say, come to Harriers, and always ask me what my beach sprinting and football. And then I did go to Harry's after a while, and yeah, I've never looked back now because I've been with the club since day dot. And I quit football then because I started falling out of love a little bit of football because I was just getting fouled. And it is a good sport, but then you get some people that just want to hurt you and then just take you out. And it was taking me a couple of days to recover, ready for training on Tuesday then. So I just couldn't. At one point, I was doing football training on Tuesday and then stay in and then training with Harriers after it. And then it wasn't sustainable, to be honest. So yeah, it's something I had to give. And I just went down the running route then, yeah.
Well, more than just went down the running route, excelled down a lot of them as well. And so you started running and just running then, or did you plug the swimming? And how long did you run for before it became triathlon as well?
I started running with the Harriers, but like I say, my chest and arms was massive, and they were, what the coaches said was saying I'm like disproportionate when I was running, and because my arms were so big, and not to say I was a massive rider or anything, but it's just all the runners there were like slick, they've all got skinny arms, skinny legs, and I was a bit more rounded, if you want to call it that. And I'd have loads of pace, and then I'd just drop off, and I was in the endurance group, and it didn't really make sense. So I was just training with them, and then I watched a triathlon in 2014, Mumbles Tri, and then I thought, I'll give that a go. My problem is I love doing different things all the time, otherwise it gets boring. And like I say, like maybe talk about my design work later, but I feel like I'm a creative person, and I'm always thinking outside the box, or what can I do next, and how can I do different things? And triathlon was just something different from running. And you can run different distances, but I watched my friend do it down Mumbles, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And I just had a go and got the bug like everyone else does. And then you go down a rabbit hole spending so much money. You get a bike, then you get a better bike, then you get wheels, then you get a better wheels, and then you get the kits, and then you get a more aero kit. Then when you start shaving your legs, you're into triathlon then, because that's the route I went down. But yeah,
we've had that with all the boys we've had on. That seems to be the giveaway. It's seconds, so everyone starts shaving their legs and everywhere else just to get.
I know. I love triathlon because of all the people you meet and the friends, and it's a full-on community, and it is like that in running as well. But in triathlon, like Ironman especially, they call it the Ironman journey in training, because you go on these long rides with all these friends, you kind of bond with them. You do it in running as well, but because it's so much training of 3 different disciplines, normally I'd say your friends, you go to the pub and have a beer, but a lot of them you just meet them in training, and rather than, it's a healthier way, I guess. But yeah, it's a mad sport, but you get a lot back from it. But it's a lot of dedication and time, which I sometimes give, but it's hard. Some of the guys that are really quick put in ridiculous hours, and they get the benefits, I guess. But it's just trying to be good at all 3 sports, and the minute you try being good at one, your other one slips away, and then you got to pick it back up. But yeah.
I mean, because over from our neck of the woods, we've got Kyle, we've got Steve, and we've got Aled, who have all had mad finishes on the weekend. But Steve won't come on yet. We will get Steve on. We've had Kyle and we've had Aled on as well. And it's the dedication and the no stones unturned, is there? And the hours have got to be put in to finish where they're finishing as well, really.
Yeah, there's that. Kyle Blackmore. Because a lot of my cycling, I deliver my artwork. I don't actually cycle that much, really. I don't have a coach. All these boys have all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even have Strava, which is pretty bad, but never signed up to it. But I was cycling on the front a couple of days before the race, and there was this guy absolutely hammering it. And he had the new Nike Alpha Flies, the Volt colour ones. And I thought, geez, who's this guy absolutely hammering it? And then I caught up with him on the bike, and it was Kyle. And he says, I'm just doing some KF at sharpening the tools. I was like, crack on. But yeah, like and I saw him at the finish then of Ironman, and I was like, how'd you do? Thinking, I know he's battered. And he went, hammered it, won by 7 minutes or something. And I was like, oh, nice one. Never in doubt, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's. I think in 2 weeks' time he's going for his like pro license at Outlaw. He said.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah. But yeah, he's so talented. You know, hopefully you get his pro license.
Yeah,
So.
he's like thereabouts, and I know we've obviously had Kyle on the starting mate, so they might run with him a bit, and like, yeah, he's just animal. Just the bike is like, and that's the time you guys are out the longest, and so that's where the most gains are, I suppose, isn't it? And because he's a decent runner and swimmer anyway, when he can have that bike, it's just mad how much you can.
Oh yeah, and like some people say, like in triathlon, bike is king. They call it just because it's like you said, it's the longest discipline. And for me, when I first started, swimming was my best discipline. It's probably turned into running now, but I used to come out of the swim leg like really high up, and then everyone used to pass me on the bike, which still happens now a little bit because I'm all right at cycling, but back then I was really bad, and everyone used to pass me, and it's a bit demoralizing. But yeah, if you want to be good at one thing in triathlon, it's cycling, just because it's the longest distance, you know.
When you're out there longer, that's one guy that's like.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like any of it.
You
I
don't
just
like
like running. I don't even like running.
Well, you guys did what was it? Portugal 10K, but no, you guys did that recently, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last week.
That was weekend before last, I think. Yeah, we done that.
Last week was Swansea, wasn't it? But yeah, weekend before last. Yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah, is it a fast course? I really want to do it, but it was just.
Well, I PB'd on it, but I don't think it's like Swansea's faster, Cardiff Bay, Cardiff 10K, because Puthcall, the first 5K is quite flat up around Newton and Treco, but then you come back through town. I wouldn't call it a hill, but there's a long 2K drag slightly uphill. So, it's not. So I wouldn't call it a flat, fast course. It's a great race, like, there's a good field there, and it's a big one. I do like it, and it's local to us, being my state boys.
Yeah, but that's good. It's one for. Pardon?
Which we're both triathletes.
One sprint. I wouldn't call it triathlete.
Which sprint? What sprint track? Which one was it?
The Ed, Matthew Pritchard. It was his.
Oh yeah.
First year he done it, so we went and done that for a laugh.
In Barry.
Yeah.
Barry beat us.
It was on.
Oh, it's good. That's the thing now. There's back in the day there didn't used to be that many events around, but now you could almost race every weekend within South Wales, which is brilliant. Yeah. For like triathlon, running, and even if there's nothing going on, you could just go down and Hammer Park run. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's really good, but it's just so many things on, like people's race calendars. They could race every weekend,
Yeah, it is.
We spoke about this, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? And it becomes expensive, and you've got to be really clever at the top of what races you're choosing. And because it's not a cheap hobby, running is not a cheap hobby anymore. So triathlon is more expensive than golf, isn't it? Definitely.
Oh yeah, it's shocking. Like I think Ironman Swansea. I think I got the early bird, but I think that was still like 310 quid or something around there.
Yes.
And then Ironman Wales, I think it starts at just over £500. It goes up to 600 with all the tiers. And then, like I do, long course weekend every year and Ironman Wales, and you got to book accommodation for them early, and the locals or the Airbnbs or the hotel booking to them, they just hike the prices up for those dates, which is fair enough to make money, I guess, but it just stings athletes then because you've got to stay there, so you're going to have to just pay whatever. So it all adds up then when you stay in there for 2 or 3 nights, and then the race itself, the nutrition, the equipment, the training, the coaching, I don't know, you put all that in a pot, and it's a lot of money, and a big commitment.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think, well, running is a lot cheaper, and you just need your trainers. I know there's other parts to it there, but triathlon is so much more expensive. But I always say, every year I say, it's my last year of triathlon, just because I wing it a lot of the time, and I don't do the training I should to actually do all right. But and running is a lot more manageable, I think, in terms of my lifestyle, because they're so busy and hectic. And I'd love to race abroad, and I've done the world twice now in triathlon, but it's lugging your bike abroad is quite a bit of a faff. So in running, like, just take your trainers and a run vest, you know what I mean, and stuff. And so I'd love to do more international races, because being a school teacher, I just always look at the half term. So October half term is Vienna or Venice half marathon, I think it is.
Yeah.
So my wife's looking at that for us to go out there. I should pack a pair of trainers, so it's a bit less
Yeah.
faff.
Less hassle, less stress, and then because like I say, you're worrying about your bike, you obviously got to strip it down and things, and put it.
Oh yeah, I can't do that. I've got a friend who works on it in Porthcawl.
Yeah.
Ross Simpson, who he's a really good friend of mine, but I don't go to the shop necessarily. He comes to me, and he just does all the things to my bike and helps me out. He's like my personal mechanic. He's he's such a nice guy, but I feel for him sometimes because I got so many bikes in my garage. He's looking at them all different ones, so. Yeah, the bikes are a minefield of stuff. If you know what you're doing, fair, but there's so many bits and things to check and look at. So, yeah.
Excellent. Before we get on to what's coming up as well, you touched on half term and term times a lot. So you're a teacher at the moment. I've been for the last 15 years, I think you said, art and design. But you've also got California and Craig. You are a busy man, right? You flat out all the time by the looks of it, doing this or doing that.
Froze a minute ago.
You come right now.
Oh, there we are, he's back. You froze then.
Did you hear that?
No.
I'll repeat myself. So you've worked in education for the last 15 years into art and design, but you've also got California on your top of there, and people will be familiar with your prints as well when they see them from Craig Jones Designs as well. So you're juggling, you're spinning lots of plates. You've a new father as well. You're spinning all the plates, right?
Yeah, I know. There's loads. Well, it goes back to I'm just not happy with one thing, and I'm always creative. And I think my degree, going back a few years, I did my degree in illustration in Swansea, and I specialised in illustration and children's picture books actually, and editorial work, and that was 3 or 4 years of working on that. And I wanted to be a teacher before that, so I made sure I worked really hard because I know how competitive it is to be a teacher. So I just buried myself just doing lots of work, and it's a bit like training. You put the hard work in and you get the reward. So I just really wanted to get a first class honours, which I got, which is wicked. But I kind of started out all right, and then I kind of grafted to the point where I was actually half decent by the end of it. So and so from doing my illustrative work, went into being an art teacher, and then in terms of the backstory with my artwork, that's another mad one. For 10 years, I worked as a beach lifeguard on Gower, and then whenever someone was retiring or finishing, they'd go, "Oh, Jocko, can you just do a picture for us and frame it, and we'll all sign the back and of beaches?" But I used to do it out of coloured card and layer it, and a collage, and we'd all sign the back.
So not on a computer or anything, manually.
Oh yeah. So literally coloured cards, scissors, and glues, proper old school. But this was, is it nearly, I don't even know, 15 years ago or more than that, 15 to 20 years ago. And we'd give that, and then people asked me for more, and then I used to sell them in a shop locally, and they used to ring me every time one got sold, which was really cool, because they were all one-of-a-kind pieces, really, because I just made them in my parents' house. And I made some handmade cards as well. And then, I don't know, over the years, it grew quite small because I didn't really push myself. And then the digital age started happening, and then I started creating them digitally. But it's nice, when people look back, that I've actually got a progression, and it's quite organic as well. And I haven't just popped out of nowhere and I'm Craig, the local artist, and I've started making these. And it's been a really organic process, and everyone's been super kind and positive about it all. And I'd said it before to someone before, if no one buys anything, it doesn't matter, because I love doing it. But people have bought things, and they like the bespoke pictures. And then I went into doing my artwork on socks, and that went really well. And then my artwork's on a gin label now, so I've got a Langland gin, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But it's very it's all these plates spinning now, which is a bit mad. But
and you still say,
we'll get on. It's very similar with and you might have felt the same when you were doing it. And it's your mates are buying it, and you're like, "Oh, they're just buying it because they're my mates," which is similar when we brought the vest out. And then suddenly it's like, I don't know who these people are buying the vests anymore. They can't just be doing it as a favour at this point. And it's just mad, isn't it? To see when you get one going through, it's like, oh, it's, like you said with the one when she'd phone you from the shop, one's been sold. There's that buzz. Like I would DM Nikki all the time saying, just sold another vest, just sold another vest, just sold another vest. But then similar to what you said again as well, is doing this, you just do it. You wouldn't care if anyone ever bought it. And I wouldn't really care if no one ever listened to these podcasts that much either, because I just love sitting here for an hour and chatting to people about stuff that's crazy as well.
Yeah.
It's like pretty similar in it across the board. You just wouldn't do what you want to enjoy, innit?
Yeah. And like I say, like the California stuff, I trademarked it a couple of years ago, and I'd love to make something really good out of that. I know I am getting you a t-shirt. I know you've asked me about it a few times. I've ordered a runs vest, so that's on its way.
You have. We will get t-shirts, but they are too stretchy for me, innit?
Yeah. Well, this one is actually the cotton one, but I've only got one made so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will get it sorted. But yeah, like I say, if no one buys it, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just loads of cool things. And like when I go to, being successful, and it's not about being rich and famous because I'm far from that. But when I go down park runs, some people are wearing the Gower socks, and I love stuff like that. And then, or on the prom, someone's wearing like a Tech California t-shirt, and there's loads of cool things. Or when we were looking for houses to buy, like we've lived here for a year now, it's a lovely house. But when we were looking on Zoopla, and you go through different houses, sometimes on like the image screens, my artwork's up on the wall in someone's bathroom when I'm looking at houses. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's just cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's nice. Yeah, but that's my measure of success. Really, is like seeing people wearing it or loving it and having nice feedback. And I'm pretty OCD with things like my artwork and the packaging, and it's all done by myself. And my wife helps and one or two of my friends when things get hectic, or my parents. But I have to do it, and I have to write every compliment slip to say thank you, because it's done properly, and I know it's done properly. Otherwise, it would break me if it's done by a company or I get someone else employed. And so it makes it harder, but it's a lot more personal then, which is nice.
Yeah. Plus, you haven't got it doesn't have to work because you've got a job, you've got other stuff that engages you as well. So it's just a hobby that spins a bit of money as well, isn't it? Which is cool.
You're right. You're right. It's like a full-on passion that I'm like, I'm super passionate about. And like you said, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, and I just love doing it more than anything. And I've got my my other income, etc. So it's just all cool, fun, and bonus stuff, So I think time is a massive thing for me. But it's going well so far. It's cool.
And you deliver it all on bike if you can, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I used to like deliver as far as like Neath, and I went to Bridgend once on my bike, but like can't do that anymore because I've got little Oliver kicking around now. So like I do some of the local ones around Mumbles, and it's funny because they think sometimes I'm an Amazon driver or DPD or whatever, and I knock the door, all right, oh thanks so much, cheers, and then they go thanks, to take it off and close the door, and then I get a message saying, oh God, I can't believe the artist came to the door, like it's wicked. So
before you come on.
I've also in parallel with that, I do like school workshops to primary schools as well.
You give back as well a lot, don't you?
Oh yeah, well it started happening before I was even doing, and where I'd have a school message me saying, "Oh, we've looked at your artwork and we're studying you, and just to let you know." And I thought that was wicked, so I started actually going into school and delivering workshops to them and teaching them about the benefits of cycling and the health benefits and why I ride my bike with the artwork. And then I teach them about the methods. They do the demonstration. I bring all the materials, and then they do create the artwork. And then we have a mini gallery, and then they reflect on their work. So they're ticking a lot of boxes within the curriculum, because I know being a teacher what to do. And the kids absolutely love it. And when I see them around, they all say, "Hi, Craig," and around the streets. And I can't remember all the children, obviously, but I know it's made like a huge impact for them. And I love that. And that's stuff that I absolutely love. So it's just, maybe it's because I'm getting older now, but I'm more like, like I'm, like I say, I mentioned it before, I'm like a run leader. I'm not a coach for Swansea Harriers, but I'm a run leader. So there's about 6 of us. And when I started, I used to look up to the run leaders for like help and coaching into an effect, and just their experience. And hopefully I'm doing that now to some of the newer members and just offloading, not that I'm the font of knowledge, but I've done it for long enough to know enough mistakes that I've made that I can say, well, actually, from my experience, this is how I found. So, yeah. So it's good.
You get similar to that. You get like DMs
too much.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You get like DMs from time to time because it's just a longevity in the game as well, isn't it? And people will ask you bits and bobs about running because they know you've put the miles in and you can give them. They wouldn't ask me. They'd ask me about a Photoshop maybe or make a podcast, but you go to the people that you know that can see you doing the work and ask them for their help and support as well, don't you?
Yeah, I tell you what, a question I've had a lot of time lately is, do you do much zone 2 work in running? And
Zone 2 has become this weird obsession, haven't it?
Well, I said I don't do any zone 2 work, but I think when I take a step back and think about it and put like my coach's head on, if you've got a lot of time, I think zone 2 is really useful, like doing these kind of long, slow rides, building up your aerobic engine and stuff. And I get that, but like a lot of us work full time and doing different things, and I just haven't got time to do the zone 2s. I have some of my key sessions and I absolutely hammer those and recover in between. And that's the best I can do, is to do like the really kind of top end stuff, where I get like bang for your buck type of thing. But like I run Tuesday and a Thursday with the endurance group, or unless I'm coaching them. But there's another strand of Swansea Harriers of some of the top boys who I've dipped in with them. I call it it's the Mark Hobbs group. So he kind of, So, Matt Varan's turned up in the past. I know he's doing his own thing now.
Yeah.
John Butler's turned up. Well, it's weird with John Butler. Like, he's a legend of a guy, but he used to like be the same speed as me a couple of years ago when we were running 120 for Swansea half, and there's photos of us together. And now he's like running like lightning speed, and he's like down to like 14 minutes for 5K and stuff.
Yeah. He's gone ridiculous the last few years since he like got back into it full time. Again, he trying to get him on because I speak to John a lot, like I'm good mates with him. But yeah, he's just gone another level, and he's getting into that like, well, he went sub 30 for 10K, didn't he? Not long ago up in Manchester. Crazy, like.
Yeah, and so some of them boys come down. Debbie Griffiths has come down with us a few times, and there's a lot of top guys, and it's like there's about 8 to 15 of us that rock up on a Tuesday and a Saturday morning. And we do a loop down in Clyne. It's kind of like a bread and butter 1K loop. But the boys are just relentless there. And there's like sub 2:30 marathon runners there. And, there's some really quick boys. And I'm at the back just getting absolutely hammered. But I think at the end of the COVID kind of spell, where there was no triathlons, but running events started happening. Everyone was running and everyone started going up a level. And I like committed to running then because there was no tri events. And I got really fast. And I was doing there was a Pembrey 5K series.
I don't.
So, and it was COVID gaps.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the race started, everyone went,
they're on the line. It was I think it was in 4s, wasn't it? I think, or something.
Yeah. And then I was training with the boys really hard then. And I think it was 15:55, which is a crazy time for me.
Rapid.
And as soon as I did that, I bought Mark Hobbs, George, the coach, Garrett. Do you know Geraint? Bridgend Geraint?
Yeah. Williams.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Anyway, I bought all them artwork down to training to say thank you so much for getting my time down to there. And it wasn't them personally, but they were all there in the mix pushing me.
Yeah.
And without them, I'd never I can't probably get anywhere near that time now because of the time commitments. But I was there hammering it with them every Tuesday and Saturday, and it. Like I say, when you put the hard work in, you get the rewards. And when I'm feeling good, I go down and train with them. But if I'm rusty, I'll get spat out the back. So I just avoid them because there's some top runners there. Oh, yeah.
But then it's great if, like you say, they can drag you along. And even though you're off the back, it's like let's keep that gap. Let's stay with them, even though they're just ridiculous. Like I say, they're unbelievable runners, all them.
Yeah, and it's like for triathlon, I run with Swansea Harriers, so I run with a run group and get smashed out the back. Then I swim with Swansea Masters, and there's some triathletes in there, but they're just pure swimmers. Yeah. So I'm at the back getting hammered, even though I'm thereabouts. So I like swim with the swim club, run with the run club, and then I just cycle with triathletes sometimes. I think a rule of thumb is if you train with, not necessarily true, but my rule is if you train with a triathlete, you may not get any faster. So if you train with specialists, running specialists, swimming specialists, and cyclists, then you will get quicker.
Yeah.
And I don't cycle with cyclists. That's my probably biggest downfall in triathlon, but whatever. I think to get good at cycling, you've got to put so many hours in. And yeah, I think Binya is a cycling club that a lot of people go to, which is pretty well regarded, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. So the rest of this year now, so you had to cut long, we were speaking when and you had to cut the long course weekend short, you had to pull the plug on that because Oliver was born. But now we've got...
Well, I was hoping if Meg, my wife, she said if the baby comes early, a week early, then you can do it. Or if it's like going to be, well, she said apart from that, then it's gone then. But I was fourth last year at long course weekend. I know I was off the podium a bit, but I came third in the marathon. And I was like Liam Lloyd, I don't know, Donald Brooks, who's a ridiculous athlete. And then, I can't remember the name of the third guy, but then it was me, little old me, who's normally way down in the ranks. And I thought, oh my God, I've got a place here. Like I'm starting to do things. But yeah, I think a baby's more important anyway. Events come and go, so.
Yeah. So wrapping this up, Europe now, with Ironman Wales is the main one now. Is there anything in between now and then, or just that block?
Yeah, no, I know. It's literally, well, I think this year is later than usual. It's in September, end of September. But yeah, so I'm just going to block train in the summer, just cycle as much as I can. Thing is, it's tricky now with Oliver, the baby, coming around. It's like my commitments are even shorter now, but hopefully I'll have a bit more flexibility in the summer when he gets a bit older. I'll probably do loads of run events, just whatever comes up. You know, it's like those 5K series, there's loads in it. It's like the Neath one, Paul Popham one, that may have finished now, but there's so many little 5 and 10Ks popping up. I'll just dip into some run events rather than triathlon. It's too expensive.
Is that the end of triathlon then, or does it never end?
It never ends. I say every year, that's it, I'm retiring. That's the end, because I ain't getting any younger. And I mean, Ironman just gone, the 70.2 Swansea. I did okay, but not as quick as I wanted to be. But under the circumstances, it's fine. But I've got I do love it though when I do it. But it's just hard, like say, to swim, bike and run, to try and keep them up. It's hard, manageable wise. But yeah, probably might be my last year. I don't know. But I'm always on the hunt for a new bike. Keep looking for a triathlon bike. They're really expensive, but they're really nice. And I think I like training more than racing. And I love the camaraderie and the socialing and meeting people. And the racing is a byproduct. But I get really nervous and put too much pressure on myself. And I just love hammering training and feeling fit and feeling good about myself rather than the actual racing, which is a bit weird. But yeah. So I'm doing less and less triathlons each year, but yeah, I still got a few good races left in me if I commit. But yeah, who knows? But I do think though, long term, I'm just gonna stop doing triathlon and just commit to running a bit more because that's my passion and that's where I enjoy the most. And giving back to Swansea Harriers in terms of coaching, and just stick to like 5 and 10Ks and halves. Marathons are just not for me, man. They're savage, and the distance is ridiculous. I don't know. I can't do 20-mile runs because like my knees start hurting and my ankles, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of long training, you know.
I can see, somebody's going into a hunting stars block after triathlon now, isn't
he? Yeah, I know. Well, I need to sign up to Strava and start getting some comms. Is it or kudoses? I don't know how it works. Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. I know, and I'm not on it. I've never been on it. So, I'm on Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect?
A marathon.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not too hot on I'm on Garmin Connect, but that's as far as it goes, really.
Yeah, you stick to Garmin with Matt Rees, but right. Should we take a quick break and then come back, Craig? We finish with this or that and some questions, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah.
Welcome back. We've still got Craig with us. We've got this or that and some questions off Instagram, and then we can wrap it up. Nick, do you want to do the this or that? This or that?
Here we go, Craig. This or that. So, sticking on the Ironman theme, Swansea 70.3 or Tembe?
Oh, it's got to be Tembe. Love
Yeah.
Ironman.
It is a great event. But even though Swansea's your home event, Tembe still tops it.
Yeah, I've done Tembe 7 times now, and it's the crowds are insane, and it's the Mecca event.
Yeah.
There are so many people supporting, and it's such a big occasion. But and it's the endorphins at the finish line. It's like nothing else. It's just a marathon at the end. It's crazy, isn't it? So
I've been going for a few years now, supporting Full. Do you think it's getting bigger and better every year? It seems to be more people there every year. It seems to get bigger, and Heartbreak Hill last year was insane. It was just the whole way up was just rammed.
Yeah, and the weather looked class, and I think triathlon is becoming more fashionable to do than anything. And it's I mean, the rise of social media and photos and Instagram, TikTok, and videos, and everyone wants to be seen exercising and doing things. And the kind of the gold stamp is Ironman. And back in the day, I haven't got one luckily, but a lot of people have that Ironman tattoo.
Yeah.
And then people say well, if you go to McDonald's, if you don't get the M sign on you, do you know what I mean? But and it's a bit like university. Back in the day, it was a delicacy almost when I went to university. It was hard to get into and things like that. But now it's almost like a gateway now, university. Everyone goes to it a little bit to get a degree and like that. And it's a rite of passage. And it's the same with Ironman. Now it's done, people do them all the time. Well, back in the day, it was whoa, what, you doing an Ironman? I did it for charity back in the day.
Right.
As a dare. That's why I did it. But now it's just grown and everyone does it.
Yeah, it's gone huge. The COVID years with running and triathlon, everyone just went bumped and it just sort of took off massive. I think the Olympics as well back in 2012 in Britain started a bit of an athletics boom as well. So it might be
I went to Hyde Park and watched the Brownie boys smash it as well in the Olympics, and stuff like that was really inspiring with those boys. But it's just the sport has grown and gone bigger and bigger, and say the crowds at Ironman Wales is ridiculous. And I went down and watched it in 2014, and then I watched it, and same with everyone else, you sign up straight away because you see people of all shapes and sizes, and you watch them and go, well, if he can do it, surely I can do it.
It is.
And it is like that, but it is another level when you actually do it. It's brutal, of course, but it's so hard. It's the most amazing experience at the finish. When you cross the line, it's class.
Awesome. Bit longer than right. Half tights or shorts?
Half tights. Do you know what? Probably shorts. I try doing the half tights, but sometimes my quads are a bit big, and then they rise up on the inside, and it just looks. I can't do it. I think you've got to have a skinny build to have the shorts. But it's become more fashionable, right? Isn't it? A lot of people
for longer races, I love them. No chafe, they're just much better. For halves and full, I just I was the same. I was they look awful on people. I don't think they'd look good on me, but I tried them for a marathon and now I just love them. And I get shit for it off a lot of the boys in the club, Nicky Bennett. They look awful. Women wear them. It's I don't care. They're the most comfortable thing ever.
Yeah. Do you have pockets on the side or?
They got pockets in the back and in the front. You can get 4 gels in them, so they are handy for that as well. Little inserts where you put your key, but they're bigger, longer ones on the night one. They're real good. They're class.
Yeah, I don't know, when you wear them as well, I need to wear a longer vest to hide, because it's a bit revealing on your package, isn't it? So I was I'll show that.
Right. Next one. Obviously, you've done London Marathon, haven't you? Because I remember I ran a little bit of it. I think it was, I've sworn about it before we come on with a car. It was with Dan, and you caught up with me or whatever, and we were chatting for a bit. So, Tower Bridge or Heartbreak Hill? What's the better atmosphere?
I'd probably go Heartbreak Hill because the crowds are so deep and they're in your face. It's it feels like you're in Tour de France. They're all up so close, and you can't even pass another bike because it's just a single file line, flags in your face. One year, which is a DQ, some bloke grabbed my bum and he ran pushing me up. Ben Reese, his name is.
Yeah.
And I almost told him it was a DQ for refs, but there was so many people and so much carnage. Then it was, you come out of it, your adrenaline's going, and the bridge is cool, but it's very wide, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crowds, but it's so intimate, that Heartbreak Hill. It's crazy. So,
it is. It is. I love it. That's my favourite spot.
Yeah.
For us as well, watching is like that little caravan park. We can go and grab a pint. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, and everyone seems to be steaming as well in the crowd as well, and they get really into it because it's basically an all day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. So by the end, you're running around Tenby town, and everyone's smashed, just getting your face going, "Come on!" You're just like, all right.
You haven't got long.
I know.
Right. What's my next one? Would you rather a 100-mile bike ride or a 3-hour run?
A 3-hour run, I think. I don't know. 100 miles on the bike. I don't know. You need to like food, and it's a long day out sometimes. 3 hours is less than. I can't do 100 miles on the bike in 3 hours, so I'd rather just do the run.
That was an easy one then. All right. Last off, running wise, with the Olympics coming up and the big beef, Josh Kerr or Jakob Ingebrigtsen?
Oh man, I think it's got to be Josh Kerr. I watched him in the Diamond League the other day, actually, that Jakob Ingebrigtsen, and he had an interview after it, and he said the difference between me and other people is that I'm always here. Like he's always at the top, or he's always in the mix, and some people turn up, and Josh Kerr is class. And when he beat him before, I couldn't believe it. But he's quite new to the game in terms of the very top, isn't he?
Yeah.
But Jakob Ingebrigtsen has been there and done that for a long time. He's established, so it was quite interesting what he said in that Diamond League. I think it was it Monaco or something, one of the recent ones.
Where he beat the European record, 3:26, fucking insane.
Oh, yeah, and he was like orchestrating the race, and then he thought, right, I'm going to go now, and he just hammered it. So I'd love to see Josh Kerr do it, and I think he will, because he's got in his head, I think, since that last race. But Jakob Ingebrigtsen is always there, and he's such a class act. But yeah,
it's going to be a great race. We was on about it again earlier. It's going to be a brilliant Olympics. Like every athlete seems to just be peaking at the right time. Like the hurdles, Ball and McLaughlin both just smashing records. It's going to be class all over the place, I think.
Yeah, and there's that Netflix series called Sprint, which has only been uploaded earlier this month. Yeah, it's good, but it basically follows all the 100-meter runners, sprinters. It's like the Americans and the Jamaicans, and they're all alphas pretty much. They're all like Sha'Carri Richardson, and some of them they're crazy. But it follows a British athlete as well, and one or two others. But the 100 meters is nuts. Like the pressure and how intense those guys are.
Do you know what, Lyles? Are you familiar with Donald Glover? Childish Gambino. Rapper, actor.
I don't know. Noah Lyles features in that documentary loads, and he walks around. His fashion sense is crazy, but he walks around. But he backs it up, he's a fast guy.
And he's got that nice relationship with his mother as well. So I think I am Team Lyle, and Team Lyles, but may the fastest person win.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, it's usually an American or Jamaican, usually, isn't it? Well, it was that Italian guy, but it documents him in the Netflix series, and he hasn't done anything legitimate since, really. So they're all questions asked, but I don't know.
Yeah. Right, over to you, Gav, for Q&As.
Right then, we've got a couple of Instagram. Let's start with a nice easy one. Full-time teaching or full-time triathlons?
Or full-time triathlon. I think when I am off for summer holidays, I say to all my friends, I'm a full-time pro now. That's it. I love it. So full-time pro. Yeah.
Right. How do I get a tan as good as yours? Is it real?
Oh, man. Who is that? They always... Some of my swim boys always mix it up and say I go to Lex Tan for a fake tan. But I'm quite dark anyway, so I just catch the sun naturally. I think I'm an outdoor person.
I reckon Will must have got Hannah to send that in because it was off her, so that must have been the question he was on about.
Oh, flip Hannah Monday. Wow, she's a class act. Seen her swimming? Mad.
If she wants to come on, she can. Yeah. Well, not yet. We booked that till October. It'll have to be 2025. We'll have to open our diary. Right. What's your favourite Craig Jones sock design?
Probably the Mumbles Lighthouse one. Just because they're bright, colourful. That's where I live. It's got the lighthouse on it, and they're easily recognisable. So when I see everyone at Parkrun wearing them, or I don't know, the Car 10 ride, the people have them, and some people wear them and walk past me, and I'm just like grinning, looking at them, and I'm thinking, it's me, I did them. But he didn't even know. I don't know. It's just like, not to say people should know who I am, but it's just funny how people are wearing them, and they're just there. It's funny. But the Mumble socks.
Yeah, you're basically the Tinker Hadfield of Mumbles, really, you
Yeah, was it Mark Barrow calls me the mayor of Mumbles at MOM, but I'm basically a Z-lister in Mumbles. Basically, people know who I am, but I'm not really famous. I'm just a
I said
face.
to Nicky before we come on, yeah, if you imagine, remember Heartbeat,
Yeah.
where you had a modern Heartbeat set in Mumbles, you'd just be the likeable character that everyone loves, the Jack the lad around the town on his bike delivering prints and running triathlons.
Oh, I know. I'd love to just have. I'd love to have a salary of just going around delivering artwork. It'd be class.
And just
And I loved
talking to people.
Heartbeat.
And...
It was a great show.
It was a
Yeah.
bit.
The theme.
Well, right, we've got. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
When will Craig stop drafting and take a turn on the front during training rides?
Oh wow. I reckon that's from Mark Barrow, is it?
Yeah, it is from Mark.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, I say to them, right, I'm confident at swimming and I am confident running. I am not confident at cycling. And I go out with those boys, right? And I'm on a WhatsApp group and they're relentless. You know, they're like, oh, let's go at 6:30 a.m. We're doing the Ironman route. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna have the TT bikes, Smash Fest, and all they talk about was training and racing hard. And I'm just on the edge, the boundaries, the peripheries, going, yeah, I'll come. But and when it comes to racing, I can put out some decent cycling times and things like that. But I lack confidence so much cycling with those guys in training. I always sit at the back because I'm afraid of going too hard and then just bonking, I call it, and just going backwards. So I just sit in all the time. And then I get this really bad rep of just drafting. But it's not, it's just because I'm too shy and not confident cycling with those guys because they love it and they are really good cyclists. But when it comes to it, I can hold my own. But in training, I just sit at the back and pretend I'm not there and just get around. So, yeah.
Oh. Can you tell us something interesting about yourself that nobody else or not many people would know?
Right. Something interesting that not many people know. So back in the day when I was a bit younger, like 15 to 20 years old, I was like a professional and a sponsored athlete. Well, it's not an athlete, but basically I was a yo-yoer as a professional, which is mad. But basically, there was a craze back in the day where, do you remember it was scooters and yo-yos? Do you remember that? It was kind of a time.
I
Maybe not.
remember like yo-yos when I was real young, like round the world and all those mad tricks. But
Yeah. So I picked up a yo-yo. Some other guys did skate. I did skating a lot, skating and yo-yoing and surfing. And I started doing it, got better, and then I got sponsored by Street Blades in Swansea and got paid by them. They're not there now, but so when they did like fairs and festivals, they used to pay me and stand me outside a tent, and I used to do like loads of crazy tricks. And inside the tent, they'd sell all the yo-yos, so people would walk past and all the new models they'd give me, and I do all these mad tricks, and people go, oh, "Wow, look at that!" And then they go in and buy them, obviously. And yeah, so they used to do that. And then in Swansea, in the YMCA building, I used to teach yo-yo skills, which is really weird. So everyone had like a sticker book with all like around the world, walk the dog, and then it all went all the way to split the atom. And if they did the trick, I'd like stamp the book, and then by the end of it, they get a free yo-yo. But it was really hard to do all the tricks. But so yeah, I was like a yo-yo instructor. But it's cool. It's like I've still got the yo-yos now because I've got some expensive ones, and I can still do all the tricks. Where in skating, I could do like kickflip and heel flip and things like that, but can't do like the variable flips and things like that as much now. But yo-yo, and I can still do all the mad tricks. So I have to show you one time because I take it into school sometimes, and the kids are like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." So, it's mad.
Yeah, when it comes, we'll meet up. We'll have a coffee and deliver your vest and see some yo-yo skills.
yeah,
Definitely, because that is like a mad thing, and I just forgot how to do it. But yeah, that's pretty dark secret. But yeah,
that's so random as well.
Yeah, it is random. Weird.
Will you do a sock design for Brav featuring the 6-star majors? That's just a question from Brav. I'm not asking you to do that. That's not in the food.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I could do. I mean, I haven't done any new designs for a long time, and it's in the pipeline. I've got some other creations, but yeah, we could do loads of custom designs. I mean, socks do really well, and they're nice quality, and I love wearing them. I wear them all the time. But I've got them here. I'm looking at a load now. They're right next to me. So yeah, they're really, and like things like Father's Day and stuff, they're really handy. Like what do people buy? Get a pair of socks. And I think fashion now has come to a point where a lot of people, well, like you guys with the runs branding and stuff, I love all that. And like the pink is really recognizable, and the vest, love that. Like I say, I've ordered one, and I think marketing and branding and colors people love being seen. And like the socks is like something part of your identity, and like say a colorful vest, and people relate to that. So it's been really cool, the socks designs. And even like High Rocks is getting really popular now, isn't it? That's kind of hybrid competition, or people have been buying socks because they all want to wear the same kit, and it's kind of like a theme. So yeah, I think clothing and stuff and fashion is becoming really popular in terms of like competition world, and and exercise.
I'm only here. Yeah, I'm only here for the fashion mainly. That's like 80% of what keeps me around. Like, but it's similar with mates down in Pontyrodan. So we had on last week. We had Bishy on last week, and they are working on, because club wear is a bit boring, isn't it? It's got the club badge, the Joma or the brand logo, a sponsor, and an initial on it. People don't want to wear that anymore. Like now, what you've got on there, big print on the back, front small print on the front, is massive at the moment, isn't it? Back to what it was when you were down the beaches when you were 15 in Rip Curl, probably. It's gone back to that, hasn't it?
Yeah, like the big Quicksilver Billabong t-shirts. It's like it's kind of like a retro kind of like colourful vibe. So yeah, I think it comes around in full circles. I think fashion, but Swansea Harriers, we've bought. I think, have you guys got any? Like we got the Soul running vests now, but they order them in batches because they were pretty expensive. I think it was like 60, 70 quid we paid, but yeah, pretty handy. Yeah, they're good until they go see through. Like if it's a stinkingly hot day and you chuck the water over you, or you get like, I don't really get it, but like that nipple rash thing, and everyone has like bleeding nipples. So on a white Swansea Harriers vest, not the best, to be honest.
No, stain, 2 nipple stains.
Yeah, it looks brutal. I just chuck a load of Vaz on them sometimes, but it kind of works.
Faster as I go.
I just don't run enough to bother, but I did have bleeding nipples last week. But there we are. It's another story for another day. Right, we've got our 2 staple questions, and then you can be on your way. Number 1, what's your favourite song to run to?
That's hard, and it's put me on the spot. I think it's I think it's Dead Mouse Escape, as like a John Summit remix it's called, which sounds bizarre, but sometimes when I run to music all the time, and when like a song drops or like sub-focus drum and bass, I run faster and things like that. It's weird, but and sometimes I sing to the music, and some of my mates have caught me, and it's just bizarre. But I love running to music, and yeah, like a Dead Mouse tune called Escape is pretty good. So anything that's loud and got a big drop, it just motivates me when I'm running.
Get you going faster.
Oh yeah, big time, love it.
Right, and if that put you on a spot, you're really going to struggle with this one. Who would play Craig Jones in a movie about his life?
Oh, instinctively, when you say that, I think of people who look like me, but then I think, oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, Matt Reese will be there on the red carpet playing Craig Jones.
Do I pick a celebrity? Is that the question, or
yeah, like
a decent actor, wouldn't it?
An actor.
Oh, probably. Well, just because of his personality, Denzel Washington, because he's like a badass. Basically, I've watched him in The Equalizer, and and the way he speaks and his use of words is class. So, yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. Really, either him or Brad Pitt, maybe, because he's quite a good-looking guy, and so I'd maybe pick him. But again, watching him in like Snatch and some of those films, he's epic, So yeah, maybe some of those guys, just because they've got a bit about themselves,
Denzel is the Emperor in Gladiator 2, and I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, I love. Yeah, Russell Crowe's a good one.
It looks good. Looks very, very good.
Is Russell Crowe the Gladiator though, or is he?
No.
Oh, the Gladiator is Lucius.
Okay.
And remember the kid?
Yes.
But the actor, he's just become popular. I think he's in, but he looks like a gladiator. And that one from, who's that Pascal guy? He's the bad guy in there.
Oh, yeah, Spanish actor that's been in loads lately, isn't he?
Yeah, Pascal, I think his name is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember who plays. But I'm not going to waste our time looking at it. I'll have a look and we'll talk about it off air. But that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. I love going off on a tangent. And Craig, you are the tangent leader in Swansea. I loved it. Any other questions, Nick?
No, that's it from us, I think we wrapped up.
Cool.
There we are.
Oh, well,
Fantastic. Go on.
No, I was just going to say thanks so much for having me on. And like I say, hopefully we can do another pod one time in person. And I'll, like I say, bring my yo-yo and give you guys some check your California t-shirt as well. And yeah, it'd be good to, we should organise like a park run, like a Swansea when you guys are down, or if I come up to like do the My Stag one or something like that and sort something out, especially in the summer holidays now I'm off.
Yeah.
So
we'll definitely come down and do a Swansea. And we'll up My Stag this weekend, sure. But I think I've frozen.
Caribou froze right at the end. No, he's
yeah. I was just saying, we'll definitely come down and do Swansea because we do try and do Swansea now and again.
Yeah.
It's just convenient, and I'm in Birch Grove, so it's all just as fast for me to zip over to My Stag and do it as it is to drive down to down the front to do it, really. But yeah, we'll definitely get something sorted. We want to do more park runs with different park runs as well, and increase the fan base as well.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I'll chuck that vest on because I love it. And then the secret restaurant is just at the finish line. So normally I get my wife to save the table and I just go have a posh breakfast afterwards. I love it. Yeah. Fresh orange juice. Get rinsed with the cost, but I just don't care. And the views are amazing. But it sets you up for the day then, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Saturday morning, hammer it. And then it's a massive social thing. I love parkrun.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah. It's free.
It is.
It's free.
Yeah, it was really good. Wow.
Right, Nick, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, so that's it for us. Episode 25 already, like mental. Thanks to Craig for coming on. And yeah, we'll see you on a start line somewhere soon. My Stag Parkrun if you're coming up this weekend. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. Nice one.